Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to all my new followers. This week we have an unboxing, and as you might have noticed by the thumbnail, you probably on the title, you already know what it is. But yes, it's exciting. I've never done an unboxing. Don't think I'll be doing a whole heck of a lot of those. But I thought this was maybe a little fun video to make and explain to you guys why this camera and all that kind of stuff. So without any further ado, we're going to get to the unboxing. Of course, hope everybody's doing really great. I just picked it up. Of course, there was an address issue. Naturally, that's just the luck that we have. If I wouldn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. But it seems very well packed. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's stuff. Could have been packed maybe a little bit more tighter. You know, if you're packing something up, especially a delicate sort of item like this, then you want to make sure there's no movement whatsoever. But anyway, here we go, guys. And yeah, it's going to be fairly interesting to see how everything's going. What's this one? So, packaging, the box itself, it wasn't. She taped it up pretty decently, so that's good. Nothing is open or seems severely dented. Of course, if you're shipping with FedEx, it's a whole different ballgame altogether, but hey, it is what it is. Came out of Japan and came in fairly quickly because I ordered it last week Wednesday, and normally it would have arrived yesterday, which was Monday, but it's here now. And we're happy that it is. So plenty of bubble wrap, that's good here, as you can see. I like seeing bubble wrap, the more the merrier when it comes to that kind of stuff. Packaging these sort of items. And, you know, there are no broken parts here. I can't see anything that's broken. It's one big brick here, and wow, already it's got some heft. Wow, really does have some heft to it. And yeah, we're just gonna go a little deeper. My box will use you for something else later. And here comes the actual unwrapping. She definitely backed it up really well. It was a female vendor on eBay. Very good communication, very fast shipping. You know, within a week coming from Japan, fantastic. Of course, I did pay premium for it. I'll refrain myself from saying how much, but still worth it. So here we go. She definitely packed it up really well. Nothing seems to have been moving excessively or banging about, which is always, a concern when you're shipping that far away, especially with FedEx. I prefer UPS, that's a personal preference. To each their own. This has to be the lens. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and as we can see here, guys, this lens is in excellent condition. I don't care if it, oh wow, that feels nice. I don't care if it has a little scratch here or there. It doesn't have any influence on the photo. Glass looks beautiful. This is the Mamiya C. And this is the 55mm. Interesting, I thought I had the 80mm. So that's interesting, we're shooting wide angle. 55mm. I definitely want the 80. But anyway, this is the, yeah, wow. Or is it the 80? I don't know. Interesting. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I was planning on, it is the 55mm, so that is the wide angle. what is that, a 28 or so? I'd have to look that up, but yeah, I'm not too concerned about that at all. We'll be shooting some wide angle. You know, my favorite focal length is a 50, but this is great. Let's move on. Looks good. Let's get the rear lens cap off. That's probably a bayonet type mount. There we go. Glass looks great. Glass looks absolutely great. Oh, manual. These guys are old school. Great. Very old school. I love it. 55mm though. I thought it came with the 80. I guess I'd have to look it up. Not such a big deal in the final conclusion, but yeah, let's move on, guys. So that's that. And I think this is the remote trigger. That was one thing that I thought that was interesting that came with this camera, the remote, the electronic remote trigger, because as you know, I do night photography. And so we're going to test that in a minute. Interesting. And this is, I guess, the strap, as you might have noticed. I hate straps. I'm definitely not going to put this thing on there. It's nice to have it with it, but I don't like straps on cameras. They get in the way. It's always fiddly. If you're walking around all day, yes, I can see it, but it's just as easy to grab a camera out of a little bag, little camera bag, versus having to deal with a camera strap. There we go. This must be the actual camera itself. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I'm very excited. Glass looks phenomenal though. Must be really sharp. I'm going to do a little bit of research on the lens. And I guess we'll be shooting wide angle for a little while until I buy a different lens, which isn't such a big deal, guys, at all. And we'll get into why medium format in a minute, because Davey just made a video about how much you love 35mm, and that's still the case. That's not going to change. I will always love 35mm, and I'm always going to shoot 35mm. But we'll get into why in a minute. And wow, this thing looks great. And definitely a bit heavier than I thought. So the Mamiya 645 Pro TL, guys. Why the Pro TL and not the Pro? Because I do shoot flash, and I thought having that TL through the lens measuring of the light, the lens, or the flash is pretty interesting. This thing looks good. It does have some wear and tear here. Nothing too major, but it looks great. It looks phenomenal. Yeah, guys, very excited. Let's pop the lens on there. Great. Test. Let's have a look-see here. Oh, that's a nice Nikon-esque. This is gonna be great to focus. You can be dead accurate with that pent-upism there. Yeah, great. Let's see where the battery goes in, guys. let's do that battery check. That works. Oh, fantastic. Let's see if we can get the fire. I don't know if you need film in there per se. Or how all of that works, but I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I need to take the dark slide out. Nice. Up to 1000. We can do aperture priority, that's the thing. But guys, I'm going to figure out how everything works. Now, why this camera? It wasn't necessarily about the camera. It's a little bit more heftier than I thought it was going to be. It's got some heft. It doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. It does not feel cheap. Well, display works. That's good. There's nothing in there. I wanted to go medium format, not because of the format, guys. And of course, there's a lawnmower coming by, so if you hear that, I do apologize. Not because of the format, but because of this stuff, which is the Fuji Pro 160C, which I had shot before. It's this stuff in 35mm, and I loved it. Now I couldn't find it anywhere in 35mm, but a few times I saw it coming back in 120, and also the Fuji Pro 160 NS, which had been staring me in the eye for I don't know how long, and at some point I just knew I wanted to shoot those emulsions. So for me, going to medium format was all about these films, and not per se about the camera, definitely not about the camera. I did want to buy a camera that had a great resale value, and this camera technically did tick all the boxes, and it does have a really great resale value, so we're going to be really excited to shoot with it. Well guys, this was my unboxing. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see each other in the next one.